Just wondering if I wait until people are in here. Now I do apologise if the camera bounces around tonight for the first part. I'm going to be using the drum carder, so I'm not sure if my video facing me is going to be all wobbly and bouncing around. Don't have a lot of room on this table. Alright, I'm going on 10 minutes and I haven't done anything yet. I'm just going to start because you can play it back. And I don't want too much interruptions because this is going to take a while to complete. Hi, I am Jo from Jo's Paradise of Colour. Tonight I'm going to share some carding. We're going to make a beautiful bat for two types of SuperCoil. So I want to show you how to make two different types of SuperCoil tonight. Those that can afford all the bells and whistles to making a SuperCoil, and for those that cannot. So if you don't have the funds to get a core yarn for it, you can still make it. So I've decided to go with these colors. I have a lot of white in this room and hardly I don't have a lot of color when it comes to merino. So that's what a drum carder comes in handy, because you can make your own. So I've got a little bit of mustard. I've got white 18 micron merino. I've got a little bit of Tencel. I've got red Eri Silk. I'm going to be using some of the Cashmere Fling from a Shell Bunny. It's got cashmere, Tencel, rose fibre and bamboo. I just love the colours. And then in the yarn I'll be adding some recycled Sari Silk Ribbon, and it will be auto wrapped, but that'll be a little further along. So to start, I'm going to put my base colours on first. Oh, and I'm going to be using some copper Angelina for a little bit of bling bling. So seeing I've got a lot of white, I'm going to put on the white first. This drum carder is an Ashford. I think it's a 120. I can never remember what the teeth are. 120 something. Someone can let me know what they use. But anyway, it makes fine bats, but I can still get away with making some beautiful art bats. Normally making a bat will take me a good 2 hours, but hopefully this is a lot faster because making the yarn as well. This video will probably be around the 2 hours to 2.5 hour mark. So I just open it up. I'm going to split it. You open it up so it's easier to go onto your carder. And I didn't clean it because it's just going to be the same colours because it's what I used last time. And it can get a bit noisy. Big blob. I don't have a lot of room on this table because I've got the electric e-spinner on here as well, and my laptop. So if you're going to join me in this one, I've put all the ingredients that you'll need for this yarn in the descriptions. If you don't have a drum carder, you can use a blending board, or you can just spin it from the top and add your color if you have silk as you go, as you're spinning it. Or you can buy pre-topped colourful fibre already done, ready to go. I'm doing the carding tonight because I do not have any more pretty fibre left. I spun it all up for the TDF, the Tour de Fleece this year. So I've got to make my own. takes a while to make this in real life. When I'm normally doing my normal videos, I can speed it up. Fit 2 hours in 10 minutes. There's a little bit of bobble and thicker bits, what I can see here. But that doesn't matter, it will annoy me. But I'm making an art yarn, so bobbles will just give off texture. If you are watching, please come and chat. You're more than welcome. Keep me company. If you've got any questions, I can answer them to the best of my knowledge. If you would like me to do something specific in live, please let me know. I'm going to be trying to get out at least 3 a week. If I don't forget, like this week, I thought yesterday was Tuesday, and so this video was supposed to be out yesterday. Yeah, no, it's Wednesday. It was Wednesday. The week got away from me. So I'm just basically putting a base layer down, and then I'll start adding and building the colour. I hope I'm loud enough, if you can hear me. I'm going to start adding some mustard. I'll be right back. Sorry, I had to shut the door. I forgot to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of red Eri silk. You can add it to the top for a bit of texture bubbling, or you can blend it in by adding it to the bottom. Those are going to pop out when you go and spin it up. Just spread it out on the bottom. It will catch very fast because it's very thin and slippery. This is all I'm going to use in the cashmere. With the finer stuff, you don't really need to use a lot because it goes a long way. Put it phrased like this. When you go to break it, it's so fine. It's like running your fingers through a cloud. It is that soft and so light in your fingers. I'm not sure if I like this colour yet. We'll see. We will see. I think it might look pretty cool spun up. If this one goes too long tonight and I'm still making these, I will do I'll do part 2 tomorrow, seeing I'm not doing the mum and me one tomorrow with mum. That will be on Saturday. So I might spin these up tomorrow instead of tonight. We'll see how we go for time. Hi Mum, thank you for joining. I've just added white to it because I need more volume. Otherwise I'm not going to have a lot of yarn for this. No, I'm not going to have a lot of fibre for this make if I don't have a lot of volume. I am making a bat for 2 types of SuperCoil. One for people that can afford all the bells and whistles, like the core yarn and the auto wraps. And then the other yarn is so they can make it without. The coreless SuperCoil type. People that would love to make a SuperCoil but can't afford or know where to buy the core yarn and don't have extra funds for auto wrap thread on a cone. Not sure if I get enough time tonight to do this and the 2 yarns, so I might have to do the spinning of the yarns tomorrow if I run out of time. That's going off we're doing the mum and me on Saturday. Yes, you can use. Are you talking about the auto wrap or the um, core yarn? I have used hanged up commercials. Um, you just need to find something that is similar color to what you're working with, like what the similar color to your fiber. Otherwise, the core yarn is going to come through and show, and it's not very. I don't think it's very nice to see the core sticking through. I have used the wrong colors and they're very noticeable and not very sought after. I've got yarns with sequins and stuff that I've also used, trying to test it out to see if I like the texture and stuff. And which turned out alright in some of them. So you just gotta try find something that matches what you're working with. That's the cheapest alternative if you don't have access to buying sock yarn or DK yarn on a cone. It's just I use cones because it's a lot easier to auto wrap with and they don't knot up underneath you. It's actually it's a mustardy colour, yellow. It's one of my favourite yellows. Then you should grab that because that's what you can use for auto wrap. The fine yarn on the cone. Because I use anywhere from a 2-ply weight all the way to a 4-ply weight for auto wrap. And if it's even finer, you can use that for plying. It's just when you ply with it, you can get more meters out of your fibre that you're using. And it gives off a beautiful texture, like bobbly diamonds. So when I go to spin this up, I should get colour pops throughout. Colour pops. Beautiful silky cashmere pops and yellow and white. Oh. Would I have been able to fit them in my suitcase? So it's just about layering, layers on top of layers, and trying to match the colours, and putting a little bit of the special stuff in between the layers so it goes all the way through instead of just on top. It's a balance. Trying to get a balance. I'm already starting to fill it up. So I'm going to add some more, just the silks and the cashmere on top now, and the Tencel and the sparkle. This is Tencel. It's a man-made nylon, but it's so soft, and it just adds a really nice shiny fibre to your finished yarn. I'm not 100% sold on this on this fibre yet. This bat. Oh, you think I should add some fluoro pink? I got some of that. I just have to find it. Maybe a where got a thing here. I've got a almost a Grevillea kind of pinky white with some red. I've got leftovers in fluoro, a little bit of pink and purple, and purple. Which one? Probably this one with this. Not that bright on that screen. I did try to adjust the brightness. Ah. The only problem is there's so much silk in this, it goes up my nose. No. Can't breathe in those things. I do like it. I just think it's missing something. The problem is I only got down what I was going to use. Everything's up on top of the cupboard. I'm covered in fluff. Covered in fluff. I don't know. I can't find it. My thing to get all the fluff off. I don't think I'm going to get anything else on this anymore. Ding, ding, ding. I have lots of different coloured sparkles, but they're up in the top of the cupboard. think that's pretty. That's only going to be about 80 grams though. So I might have to do two mini skeins in 40 grams. It shouldn't take very long for me to do then. And I should be able to get it in to a reasonable time for one live. But it'll be enough time for you to see how to make both. Muscles. I ditched the normal brush and I bought myself a dog brush, because you can lift it up like that and get all the fiber off the brush, and I think it works a lot nicer than the brushes that you get with the drum cutter. I don't let anything go to waste though. Anything on the front drum goes into a bag and is used in those scrappy yarns that I make. Oh, why? Why? Why won't you come off easy? Where did I do it? I lost it. I lost it. Normally it works easier. It's only because I'm on live, see. Nothing wants to work for me. Normally I can cut all this tedious stuff out on my actual videos. Now you got to see just how long everything takes in real life. Ready, Cashmere? And this is the end result to this prettiness. It does look a lot nicer with the pink. And it's got a little bit of sparkle for bling bling. So I'm going to put yours on a Be Right Back screen while I clean up the table and bring out my electric e-spinner and get ready to spin it up. So stay tuned. Be right back in a bit. Probably 5 minutes, if that. And I'm back. Little bit of a mission. I got a lot of fibre all over me, so I've decided to get out my apron. This stuff is so silky. Sorry, this is my chair making noises. Alright. So I'm going to make 2 yarns tonight. I've got my absolute beautiful bat that we've just made. And now I'm going to separate it and make it into some mini bats so it's easier to spin. These are going to be roughly 40 grams each. Just so, oh, I got fibre stuck. Losing it already. So these are going to be roughly 40 grams each. And the first one I will do the coreless SuperCoil, which is without the core. So this is how I make mini bats. They are a lot easier to use for art yarn and for normal spinning. But this way you get colour pops. I'm just wondering if this is too dark on the screen, if I need to brighten it up. I might have a look and see if I can brighten it slightly. Because I don't want it to wash out the white. Maybe. No, I think that's pretty good. It's not extremely bad like it has been. Okay. So I'm just making these little mini bats to start for prepping. Each mini bat, each mini yarn is going to have 3 mini bats. I might split this one in 4, because this is going to be a single ply one. This is to show that you don't need to have a core yarn to be able to make SuperCoil. But then you still got that option if you do want to make a yarn, a SuperCoil yarn with a core yarn. The differences are one is core spun onto the core yarn, and the other is done as a single first. So the first yarn is going to be the single. So I make them pretty chunky because I want to get a decent thickness. Because when you do your SuperCoils, you want to have big, nice, puffy bobbles. The difference also with a single spun one is it's more even. It's a more even finish. And then a core spun one is more, it's got thicker and thinner sections all the way through. So it's going to be a more lumpier finished SuperCoil. So I'm using my Ashford Super Jumbo electric spinning wheel. I'm going to be spinning it on with the wheel, with the pedal turned on. So to do that, you turn it off, you put your foot down on the pedal, you turn it back on, and then it's only going to spin when you've got your foot down. You need to adjust your nozzle in the middle to the speed that's comfortable for you. You might want to have a bit higher of a speed for your single ply, as you've got to have that extra twist so you can make the SuperCoil at the end. And then a much lower speed for when you're going to do core spun yarn. I'm going to tie that on there on the end and try and make it as chunky as you want. You can have it thinner and have a thinner SuperCoil yarn, or you can make it really fat. That is up to you. Whatever it feels comfortable in your hands. So for the single ply, you're just making a single ply with a bit of over twist. So I'm going to turn mine up a lot far, like about that. No, I'm not. It broke. Okay, that was a little bit too fast for my lead. That's what happens. My lead's pretty old, pretty thin. So I'm just going to have to... I should have plenty. Oh no. I should have plenty still to work with. Blue bar. I will put it a little bit slower than that. Come on. I don't have time for this. Hey. That's funny. So they could break again. We'll see. I have so much fluff all over me. Alright, let's try again, shall we? That is so slow. But I don't want it to break on me. So, just do what you would normally do to make a single. But the fatter the yarn, the nicer the SuperCoil. This is for people on a budget. A little hard bit there. And then when I'm finished, I will show you the comparisons of the two. This is a type of yarn that you don't have to be perfect at. Because the more uneven it is, the nicer the finished. The more texture, the nicer the finish. So this one I'm not adding auto wrap to. This is yarn on a budget, and you can still make art yarn on a budget. The other one is going to be a little bit more advanced, because I was going to be adding some Sari Silk to this ribbon, and I'm already halfway through my first colour, my first yarn, fibre. So I might leave this silk ribbon for another one. But I will do the second one with an auto wrap so you can see the difference when you use an auto wrap to if you don't. This yarn is super fast to make. Once you get the rhythm, the handling, it is the most quickest yarn to make when it comes to art yarn. You'll use a lot of fibre, but you only get a couple meters. But it's very, very nice to be used in weaving projects. And now I'm at the end of that one. So I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to pull this one off and put it in a little tiny ball. Change it the direction to anti-clockwise. When this video is over, I'm going to make up some chapters, so you can just skip straight to what you're after. And that is the first part of the first one, the single ply. Now I'm going to spin up the second one. And I'm going to use some 4-ply merino on a cone for my core. For my core yarn. And I'm going to need a bucket. I use a bucket. Put it in there. This will go beside me. Actually, no, I need that bucket. I need that bucket for the auto wrap. Okay, where's my basket? No. I will use fluff all over this. Fluff everywhere. I will put the bucket in between my legs. I will put my auto wrap down there, and I am going to auto wrap it with pink. Or white. Pink or white? I think white. because then it won't take away any of the colour pops. Too bright. I've got a lighter pink cotton, but I'm not sure. I got silk in my mouth. It's just, with an auto wrap, you want it to be thin, because it's going to get really chunky in some places and thin in others. Might go with the white, because all the colours are going to pop. Not that one. It's a mint. I have a really nice pale pink silk. I might use that one. That will be beautiful. And I don't have a lot of that to use in anything else, so perfection. I'm just going to have to find my my thing to get rid of all the fluff, or it's gonna get all this stuck to it. as good as I'm gonna get. So you want to put your auto wrap right underneath you, in between your legs, directly underneath your orifice. And then you put your core yarn I put it on my cone Kate. But if you don't have a cone Kate, which is this thing, or something similar to it, you can use a normal Kate, or you can use a bucket or a basket. I need this to be on the other side. I don't have a lot of room on the other side. Oh, throw it away. Throw it away. There's a lot of things going on here. That is my chair making noises. Put that on that leg. So you tie on your core onto the lead. Yeah, I want to put this somewhere that's not going to get tangled up in anything, because it's going to be added in after it's been spun for about 10 centimeters. So you start on the slightly messy drafted end, the thinner end. And you make sure it's going the right way. And you make sure the speed is right. Now you don't want it to pull out of your hand, but you don't want it to pull out of your hand, but you want it to catch on its own. Like so, and this is quite tricky to get it going. So the first bit is always going to be the messiest and not what you want. Now that I'm starting to get the structure I want, and this is a lot slower than the other one, you're going to add your auto wrap. Now I put the auto wrap down the middle, the center of the fiber, closest to the top where it's core spinning, and you want to core spin that onto your yarn for a little bit. Stick that in there too. A bit messy, but it doesn't matter, because later that will give texture. You just want to fasten it in, like so. And then you get this auto wrap and you stick it above your finger. You raise your hand. And you want that to run down to the orifice and stay there. That bit's going to be always a bit messy at the top. If you want me to zoom in, let me know. I can put you up straight at my fingers. But you're pretty much holding your core thread in between your hand, your thumb and your pointy, and that's gets caught on, like you hold it with these two last fingers so they don't disappear, you don't lose it, and then the fibre is getting sucked up and core on top of that. Corespun. And then you just got to draft ever so often and feed it on there. I always feel uncomfortable doing this, especially if my fingers are sore. So if you don't have good motor skills in your hands, this is not the yarn for you. Because it's very tricky. So you want to sort of pinch it and then draft and then feed it on, and pinch it and draft and feed it on, and continue until you go all the way to the end. Otherwise you'll lose it all. So pinch it, draft and feed. This way is a lot messier than the other way. It's a lot harder too. I keep stabbing the inside of my finger. No, the inside of my hand with my fingernail. Getting very frayy down the bottom. It's more blended when you do a Corespun. It's doing some weird stuff at the moment. It's really slow. Really slow. Like it's trying to catch up. It's not like it's not syncing properly. Very weird. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going to have to stop the program, start it again. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. My phone overheated, and then one of my programs wasn't syncing with my phone, and hopefully my phone doesn't go flat before I'm finished this. So fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed. But this one's looking very pretty with that pale pink silk. Is it still slowing it down, is it? If all else fails, I might have to do this, the rest of this tomorrow. Do a part 2 when the phone's all charged up fully. And I should be able to get both yarns done. Which is a pain in the bum because I would like to get it all done in one video. That would be awesome. I might actually do the structure tomorrow. We'll see how I go. We'll see how the video goes because we're already on 2 hours. Core spinning, as you can see, is a lot slower spin to what it was with the single ply. It'd be good if I could get these technical issues sorted. It's always the camera program, not the actual one that puts me to live stream. I think my phone just overheats too fast and it drains the battery using it. Even though I've got battery packs and power banks and the super fast charger cords, and I don't know, drains the battery real fast. Last one. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's like a rose garden. So pretty. It was a good idea putting the pink in. Oh, it's still glitching. I don't know how to fix it. I think it's because my phone's so hot. And it's way out of sync too. So what I'm doing now is not what I'm doing on the screen. Well, this is going on 2 hours, so maybe it could be that too. I might just, because I don't like stopping and starting. Once I start something, I want to finish it. But if anyone wants me to, I can leave it at this and then do it tomorrow when my phone's cooled down and fully charged up, and I can sit down and look at this program more, and hopefully it doesn't cake out again. But this one is so pretty. It would have to be my favorite. But that's because I love doing the SuperCoil with the auto wraps, and I like to use the auto wraps on a lot of my other different types of art yarns as well. But it just gives off that extra something at the end, like extra texture on your yarn and stuff, and it's just so pretty. And this silk, this pale silk, is just so pretty. I will take pictures for you so you can see what they both look like as a single before spinning it as a SuperCoil. And then tomorrow I'll do up another one, part 2, and I will do up the SuperCoils. And then if there is time and my programs are working perfectly fine, I might do something else. I might do a show and tell update kind of thing. And if Mum's up to it, she could come in after I've finished doing these, or we can just do the Mum and Me thing, creates one on Saturday. But I will finish this one tonight, and then not the full lot, just the first part. I will take a picture of both of these together, and then tomorrow I'll finish them off, and I'll show you what the difference looks like when you're using a single and when you're using a core spun yarn, and then the different textures to the auto wraps or no auto wrap. So I still think this is going to be a fun tutorial, even though I can't get it all in one shot. But I hope you all did enjoy this, and please give this a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. I'm going to try and push out lives at least 2 to 3 days a week, and at least one of those will be a spinning tutorial, and another one is our Mum and Me Creates episodes, which are Fridays or Saturdays depending on how we feel. And the other one that I want to do is just a muck around one where I just try different things. So if that interests you, please come and subscribe. If you have already and you haven't seen all my videos, I have over 300 tutorials available for you. Thank you so very much to everyone for joining me tonight, and I hope you all have a wonderful Friday and weekend. Bye for now.